Hi, Carrie. All right, I'm going to do your hour-long spiritual healing. So we're going to focus on opening your third eye today. So let me just relax here, and then we'll go as guided by spirit. So, I'm instantly getting pulled into the work right now. So I can't really, it's really quick. There's a lot of really fast images. The energy is really intense right now. There's a lot of images here. There's what is like, there's a dark purple color. There's really dark trees involved here. I see your face also. In between images of this kind, it's kind of darker. There's kind of a darker breeze, and it's blowing. It kind of has a painful way about it. It feels overwhelming. My heart is beating really fast. There's sort of a kind of a Halloween feeling about it. It's kind of got that spooky feel. I'm still not in the scene yet. I'm there, but I'm looking at it. I'm feeling it, but I'm not. Nothing new is approaching yet. There's something absolutely overwhelming right now. I'm just waiting right now. I'm waiting for them to create clarity or show me something new. It's really overwhelming, the energy is. It's only starting to soften up a little bit right now, but it hasn't fully yet. I see you have one black eye and one blue eye. This isn't associated with being punched in the face. You literally have one eyeball that is entirely blacked out and one eye that is entirely blued out. You have a funny sort of circusy spiral going down here. It's blue and yellow, and it looks like a cone. Looks like a solid cone going down straight from above right into the top of your head. I hear silly laughter. I think of circus. I think of circuses or festivals. I think of strange clowns. There's this oversized clown, pure white face with a big nose, and it's tied. I see that he wears the cone, same cone. Yours is an upside down cone, so it's pointed down here, right? But he's wearing the cone hat like this, and then it's strung like that. I see you now wearing the red nose. I see you now wearing the party hat. I see you sitting at a table, and you're I don't see that you're not smiling, but you're not frowning, but there's some kind of grimace going on here, but that's all I'm able to see right now. It seems more like you're thinking deeply about something. Sometimes thinking about it, just really deeply thinking. I can't say that there's a lot of joy in the thoughts, but that's not necessarily meant to. Sometimes when we think deeply, it's not, it's a positive thing, even if it's not, creating emotional joy. I just feel shaky and overwhelmed. There's some sort of extraordinarily overwhelming energy here. I'm just choosing patience. There's nothing else I can do. I feel like sometimes almost panicky. Like I can't, like the air, I want the air to come in and I just want to feel at peace. I want to feel relaxed, but I almost feel just like the vibration of energy just really, it's not creating a grounded or peaceful or relaxed sensation. It's creating like it's just like I have too much coffee in my system, or I don't know how to describe it. Just shaky, I'm just shaky. I feel like there's something, I'm anticipating something, and it's almost unbearable, the anticipation. And so it's creating butterflies in the stomach. My heart feels that feeling of, it's like the kind of feeling that you never give speeches in public, and today is the day that you're actually giving a speech, and you're going to be going in front of like 1,000 people here in 15 minutes, and your heart is racing. That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling shaky. My heart is racing. I feel like I'm anticipating something, a big deal. It's hard to catch my breath as well. So, my spirit guides are not relaxing the energy. They're not. This is what they're sharing right now. I'm not able to create any alterations of the scene. I'm only able to see this right now. You still sitting at a table. You still wearing a party hat, a red nose, and you're really thinking deeply about something. I'm starting to be able to breathe easier now. But I still feel kind of anxious about something. I see that it's sort of like a lot of time has passed and you're not really sure what else to do with yourself. So you're still sitting at the table and you're kind of like, head on the hand. And now you're just sort of head on the arms here against the table top. And so you're not moving from the table. It's just you're sitting at the table waiting and waiting and waiting. You're thinking deeply. And you're just sort of changing your position from being anticipating something to now I'm getting bored to I've just really have been waiting forever. It's kind of the way it feels. The nose and the party hat are vanishing. You're still sort of on the tabletop like this and kind of looking at across the kitchen at the clock. Even a look of a dog that is also, there's like an image of a dog on the floor with the face kind of like this and just, the eyes kind of move from side to side, but the body doesn't move. So the dog's even sort of like just looking, but not really motivated to move, They're asking me, why, they say, why isn't there any movement? They're saying, why isn't there any movement? They're saying, the more time passes, things are starting to relax more. But it almost gets sort of like there's an expectation that still isn't happening, and I'm waiting for it, and it's not happening. So they're asking you, if you have an expectation that you're waiting for, sometimes the best way to manifest that expectation is just to start moving around in life. That's what they're saying. They're wanting you to actually move the chair backwards, get up, and go do something. So I'm having you do that. I pull the chair out, and apparently you're not moving with the chair, so you're just slumping onto the ground like you have no willpower, and so you just lost yourself onto the ground. Say, where's your sturdy legs? Isn't there somewhere you want to go? Isn't there something you want to see? Something that you want to do? Perhaps instead of waiting for it to come to you, you decide to go to it. Do you know what it is that you are trying to go to? Do you know what you are looking for? Some part of you just really feels like there's something else behind the scenes of everything. It's not as if you are just looking for a spiritual development. There's something else behind the scenes, and it's really a deep thing. It's a deep pocket of something, of some kind inside of you. And while you are looking for the spiritual enlightenment, this is a big deal. Whatever this is deep underneath the skin, hiding behind the heart, is sort of thing, is really more so what you need to be healing, what we need to be looking at in order to then move into a higher, develop of higher senses. Okay, they're still having me focus on this. I'm still not creating the right language of explanation. There's something emotional. There's some sort of emotional thing behind the heart. That is what I'm seeing as I'm looking at you laying on the ground and you're not motivated to get up and move. I see something, there's an emotional thing hidden behind the heart, a shadow, of some kind, and it really is affecting you, and it affects you a lot, and it sort of affects you in such a way that you're not choosing to get up because it's just weighing you down. The emotional part of it itself is sort of weighing you down. And with that emotional baggage, the weight of it, and your inspiration to choose to feel the weight of it, it's making it very hard for you to feel motivated to move on to the things that really create the enlightenment, that really raise the vibration, that really create those inspirations that you need, that you're looking for. I'm on the ground here. I'm lifting you up, and I'm sort of down here with you too, so I'm just giving you a hug. I feel like I need to take care of you. I feel like you're a wounded soldier or something. I mean, that's how I'm kind of treating you. Like, I need to get the water, I need to get the medicine, the medicine bag, or, we got to get you back into good health. I'm inspired to lay you on a bed right now where you can feel rested and at peace and at ease. You're really going through a lot of shifts and changes with the way that you see the world, the way that you feel about the world, the way that you feel about yourself in the world. And these are huge. I mean, these aren't just little sprouts. These are really big, deep things. These are huge, transformative movements going on for you. They're the types of, they're not weeds so much as they're not pains in the rear, but they can feel that way because they can be such a big deal in the life pathway. You start having experiences that go really deep, and it's like the kind of weeds that don't just pull out, and you're just stuck with the nuisance of experiencing them until you can get a handle on them, And they're really important for the awakening experience too. I mean, human awakening isn't something that just bam, you're awakened and then it's done. It's a life process. It's something you continue to go through your entire life. So you awaken to a new perception and reality. That's just the beginning. You awaken to new perceptions of reality throughout your life. And every time it happens, it's sort of like a whoa, aha moment. And it's like, how come I couldn't have seen it that way before? So right now, it's sort of like they keep showing me 3 very deep and specific roots, or super enormous, like the super weed stems that turn into like weed trees or something. It's like the super ones you can't pull out, and that's what they're showing me, the super sort of experiences that can really create the challenges in our mental and emotional bodies. That's part of your development. They ask if you know why this has happened. Do you know why this has happened? I'm going to try and find the right language for this, because people who are ready for a spiritual movement, are ready to go out there and be a voice in the world, are ready to do something to help humanity on a big scale. They run into these moments in life where it's sort of like the scary closet just opened. It's like, where was this, and what does this mean? And now there's something to what your soul is meant to do in this life, and right now it feels like the heavier end of the stick, and that's what you're going through. So I'm sort of, it's really awful. The way it feels really awful. And so I've got you laying in bed, and they're showing me you're sort of green. The face is looking green, and you just look ill. And it just feels like a heaviness with the mind and the emotions. And they keep showing it to me like a little tiny shadow pocket behind the heart. That's what they show me. It is a shadow pocket located behind the heart, and it feels like heavy thoughts and feelings. That's what it feels like. Again, I'm starting to get that rise of it just feels like anxiousness or anxiety, and it kind of comes on with like a weird shaky feeling. it's all for you. It's all you. It's all what you are choosing. For me, looking at you, I'm saying, just take it easy. You don't have to solve the world's problems or have all the spiritual answers or know everything there is to know today. It's a life experience. You learn it over the course of a lifetime. If you try to open up the infinite door, you're going to get smashed by it. You allow yourself to take one step in front of the other, you know? And that helps you grow at the right speed too. And sometimes when we get overzealous, you know, about what we want to accomplish, that's okay as well. There's a reason why we have all the inspiration and motivation for it. But then when it gets overwhelming, you need to learn how to say, you know what, it's kind of been, maybe I've been pushing myself too hard. I mean, even the body can be pushed too hard with exercise, and now you're with a physical therapist trying to, you know, get yourself straightened out again. I mean, we can overdo it. And something about this feels like it's not just a spiritual thing, though. There's something else going on. And it just feels like there's something feels like you're overdoing it, and it's okay to just really step back and allow everything else to catch up with you, and then small steps forward. And you gotta, something about choosing to do a different direction or different approach, even going and doing some local sort of spiritual groups, and, you know, with people at different levels of spiritual understanding. And it's really kind of a fun way to talk about your unique experiences and what you think and feel and that sort of thing. It's a good way to talk to other people who are in the same boat of thought and curiosity. And it's really good to get out there so you're not so in your own world all the time. Because that's kind of, I mean, I do the hermit thing a lot too, and I need to get better at going out into the public and connecting with other people as well, so I'm not so honed into my own world all the time. And that's kind of what it feels like here a little bit. I'm going through all of this. I'm telling you, it's different brackets of things going on. So this is the best I can try and explain how it all feels. So okay, so they're wanting me to look at the picture of you again. And I'm seeing you laying on a bed, and you're sort of got a green to your face, and you just look kind of dismal, and you're sort of staring up at the ceiling. And I'm saying you're doing everything right by choosing to just relax and take it easy and be really gentle on yourself. In fact, make it your job to be gentle on yourself and to slow down and not to put too much emphasis on making lots and lots and lots of headway, because some part of you is really screaming, please stop for a while and take a break. I'm overwhelmed. Some part of you is saying that. So again, they are still showing me this. They keep emphasizing that I need to keep saying this over and over again to you. Please take it easy. I'm like the doctor right next to your bed, and I'm telling you, here, I've written you the doctor's note. You need to take a week off. Just take some broths, watch television, don't do anything. Just take it easy. Think positively, and then when you're ready to get back on your feet next week, you got to take it really slow, and you got to take the walker. If you're going to go anywhere, don't go running places. Just slow and steady wins the race. And, start by doing one thing, in sort of a public thing, like a yoga class. Just one thing next week, just a yoga class. And then the week after that, a meetup to talk about Reiki, or who knows, whatever's your local meetups, And so just to do that and incorporate that, and then they're just really wanting you to slow down. They're really saying that to you, please. Oh, it's just that really overwhelming, shaky feeling again. It's starting to hit me again. Like I'm getting an anxiety again. And so I'm just choosing to be patient with it. I'm just choosing to relax through it. I'm just choosing to breathe through it, and then acknowledge that it is there, and And then I'm just waiting for an understanding about this. It's seriously, it's overwhelming. My heart starts beating so fast. It's like I'm giving a speech, to 1,000 people, and I've never done it before, and it's going to happen in 10 minutes, and I'm about ready to pee my pants, and I'm scared out of my mind. That's kind of how this feels right now. It's overwhelming. It's almost got it's kind of scary feeling too. It feels kind of scary too. Because people who describe that can also say, yeah, I'm not necessarily scared, but I'm just overwhelmed right now. I know I'll be fine, but I am kind of scared, and the adrenaline's going out of control, and I'm a little freaky, and I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom again because I'm so nervous. Like, it just happens that way, Oh man. They aren't lightening it up. They're making it get more and more overwhelming, which means you too have to be feeling something of this kind in your life. It's almost to the point that I'm about ready to start shivering or shaking, and my jaw's going to start, clapping and just jittering, It's just really overwhelming. It just makes me feel almost cold now. I'm just starting to feel kind of cold now. I don't like the way that it feels. So I'm just choosing to be patient again. I'm in this state of overwhelming intensity. I am looking at you in all the positions that you've been in here at the kitchen table, and then laying on the ground, and then the dog's eyes moving one direction and the other. The sensation of just, when is something going to happen? Trying to move you here into the bedroom, and all the images and the feelings and experiences. The creepy trees, the weird breeze that seems to be hurting me. The strange clown pictures. I'm looking at everything, and I just feel like I just can't. I really want something more than this, and it's just overwhelming me. I feel enclosed. I feel like too much time inside the house. I feel like if I could just get outside, if only I could just get the kiss of sun on my cheek, it would be so much more refreshing than the stagnant air. It's just so stagnant. It's just the air. Even the air is bothering me. It's overwhelming me. And they're saying, what is on the air that's bothering you? I say, it just feels like it's dirty. It's congested. It feels like it's just too thick. It's just too thick. And it needs the spring breeze, It just does. And then the reality is, as I feel all this stuff, I'm speaking all this stuff, the Abby in me says it's not the truth. This is something that sometimes when we get, I don't know how to describe it. It's something like the air is actually just fine. The air is totally fine, but life itself, the emotions, the thoughts, the feelings, the anxiety is creating even more of a ripple of feelings of overwhelmingness. And so now it just feels like there's a lot more reasons that things are getting overwhelming than are actually the truth. And so sometimes when the anxiety gets overwhelmed, it can start latching onto other things that start to feel like those two are getting getting ill and feeling like even the air is starting to feel gross, and it's just starting to build and build and build and build, and it's just too much, too much. Like one little negative thought, you don't realize how much gasoline is there, and that creates a little spark that now engulfs everything in like the anxiety flames, and so you have to. I'm not saying that's necessarily anxiety, because there's moments where it's sort of like, oh my gosh, the shaky feeling, that just the nerves, just start getting really overwhelmed. And so, but there's also sort of sensations of, I'm ready for a bigger sort of thing to happen. The jack to come out of the box, something, and I'm just waiting and waiting, and as I'm waiting, I'm just also, there's a reality that is behind my heart that is really weighing me down on top of all of this, and everything needs to just, we just need to go step on back, and then I'm just going to chill out in bed for 7 straight days, and I'm going to watch all of the Lord of the Rings movies and the Hobbit movies, and then I'm just going to have the super movie marathon, and I'm just going to chill out, drink some hot teas, and I'm not going to try to make sense of a spirit world or make sense of the human world or do anything. I'm just going to veg. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to put everything on the stop, because sometimes the body needs to get put on stop. Sometimes the thoughts, sometimes the emotions, sometimes everything needs to be simplified into the movie marathon. Like this is really sort of like the recipe for getting to a higher state of awareness is literally you need to just push the brake for like 7 straight days, and then once those days are up, then start doing little things that aren't just you figuring it all out, but actually you interacting with other people also in the same bracket of things. It just feels a lot more sunny. It feels way sunnier. If you really need to get, there's a desperate need for more sunshine, touching your mind, touching your heart, touching your body, touching your everything about you. You need it. And now that I get to finally talk about sunshine more, it's like, yummy sunshine. I want that energy food. It feels so good. Sunshine. Oh my gosh. It's like I haven't seen the sun in forever. It's been in this stagnant house, and there's just too many thoughts, and it's just overwhelming. So they're allowing me to do some new things here. I'm sort of seeing you again back where you kind of collapsed on the floor, and the nose and the hat is still there. So I'm like, okay, yes, we actually can take these things off, because you just don't need those. It's not that kind of party where there's something about this. Because it's serious. There's nothing silly about this, about your goals, about what you're trying to accomplish. There's nothing silly about it. It's serious, It's what you really are truly, deeply wanting a connection with. So I'm here with you, and we're examining this seriously. And actually, after I just did that, you smile and you look at me and you acknowledge. You don't have one black eye and one blue eye. You're looking at me. Your eyes are twinkling. You look happy inside. There's some sort of other image here. It's coming out of your chest. Okay. So some sort of energy or entity. I mean, there's somebody just came out of your chest. It's something protective. It's got a sword of some kind. But I'm not thinking negative or I don't know just yet. I'm examining. I was sort of shocked because the inside of you is complete dark shadow, and this just came out of that. And I'm not getting any demonic feel or anything like that. This actually feels, he looks kind of like Lucifer to me. So I'm just going to explore that. They're saying, yes, that he is Lucifer. That you keep Lucifer close to your heart. I'm not experiencing the negative. I'm experiencing the positive. I just need to examine it some more. Okay, this is interesting. Boy. As I'm sort of looking at Lucifer and everything, you have like so your soul is the type of soul that goes and experiences really dark things and really light things, okay? So you're trying to create the right balance of both the dark and the light. And this is really special. This is a really special thing. It means your soul is really deep and really dynamic. Sometimes people who are like this, even I do too, resonate with reflections that also are reflections of both the dark and the light, because those souls are quite developed, are really advanced, are really dynamic in that way. And so for me, when I talk to Lucifer, I'm not talking to his demonic evil hell side. I'm talking to his light body side, because he has an extraordinary, beautiful, heavenly light body reflection. I absolutely adore talking to him. And sometimes when we are on the spiritual pathway, really getting to know the souls that touch our hearts the most, sometimes we can feel a little bit like the shadowy side of things can kind of feel. And sort of Lucifer is kind of like the bad boy, right? And so he's really not, to me, he's really like but I don't know what it is, but somehow the flavor of like, you're connecting to the right, I don't know how to describe it. Fill your heart with light, okay? Fill yourself with light. Fill yourself with love. Fill yourself with the joy of living. Fill yourself with childlike laughter. And fill yourself with innocence. Fill yourself with purity. Fill yourself with healing Mother Earth energy. Fill yourself with the sappiest, lovey, gooey, gushy, like gummy, love stuff, cheesy as it can possibly get. Fill yourself with that, because for some reason you do fill yourself with love, but it's got kind of a darker twist to it. It's not like it's kind of, I get why it's there, because you do have a really balanced sort of dark and light soul, but just make sure to be balanced. Make sure you're filling it with more light too, because you need to get a little bit more of the mushy mashy sappy love stuff. You need a little bit more of that in there, because it's it's getting a little too twisted with the sort of the dark side is a little bit too much. So I'm just gonna talk to Lucifer here. I'm just like, oh, well, you're in there, huh? Well, hello. Yeah, so let's see what he's like. So, you really resonate with him. You really have a close bond with him. You really feel a close connection. That's special. You really talk to him about a lot of things. A lot of things. And it could be, the challenges of life, really talking about your feelings about the challenges of life too. And really, and it almost, that's what he's sharing with me right now. He's showing me that you're really close friends, and you do a lot of talk. You talk a lot together, and you really share a lot of the personal things, and a lot of your feelings, a lot of your challenges, a lot of your goals, a lot of all of that stuff. And it feels like regular, like constant, like morning and night, night and morning, like a regular conversation. It's really quite a close and loving relationship. It's a meaningful relationship. I understand why he's in your heart. I'm saying to Lucifer, look at how shadowy the cavity of her body is. It's all, this sort of trunk of your body is all, it's just, this is all shadow. It's all dark in there. It's not full of light. How can your heart beat with love if it's got all this dark congestion in it? Life is full of love. Life is full of birds singing. Life is full of beautiful dreams and wishes that we put onto coins that we throw into fountains. And there are rainbows out there all the time, even if we don't see them every single day. The sun is shining every day. I'm talking to Lucifer about this. I'm saying there's more here. There's more gifts of love that we can share to help Carrie really feel like her vibration is raising into heaven itself. And so that's all I'm talking about right now. So I'm just going to you. I'm no longer talking to Lucifer. His motivation here is not, at this time, it is not motivated to do any healing work. It is only to showcase the relationship, and I've asked him, are you going to help me heal, or what? He's just showing me that he is sort of like a guardian or a helper, friend in that way. And so I'm just now to your side. You're smiling, your eyes are twinkling, you're really happy to see Lucifer. You're really happy that he's a part of your heart, and he does create more of that loving energy that just makes us all feel good about life, you know? It's kind of a strange thing because history has not really promoted the loving side of Lucifer. It's always promoted him the most evil, terrible. But to discover his heavenly side is like a really beautiful gift. It's huge. And it's time, you know, it's really time for new versions of wisdom to surface to help us all move on to a new pathway of understanding about the spirit realm. So I'm just focusing on your heart, okay? I'm soaking up all this dark energy, okay? I don't know how I'm doing it. It's just all moving. I'm just focusing on it. I'm going to close my eyes a little bit here. It's sort of like I've created an orb that's invisible to me. Something about that. And it's sort of like the dark light is going into this orb. There's still work to be done here. It has to do with creating the right balance in the mind. They're showing me what is a bridge between your mind and Lucifer's mind. They're showing me as I'm absorbing all this dark energy into an orb, you're still not acknowledging the power of love. What the power of love truly feels like in the heart. It's kind of more of a mental love for you. So mental love is not going to create wealth of love in the heart. It's definitely going to help get through life to have mental love, right? But there has to be a deeper feeling of love in the heart, in that chest cavity region. It's so shadowy. It is a very beautiful gesture, and Lucifer is now wanting to create energy of love here as well. So we are all going to share energy of love, Lucifer and I, with your chest cavity, okay? It's really special. It's really important. He's creating a circle, a ring of fire around your chest region, right at the level of the heart. We are focusing on what is sort of an orb of light here in the center of your chest, right at the level of the heart. So the heart center. Heart portal is what I always call it, because it's sort of like a big round, I mean, it's special. It's a really, really, really special area of the body. I find the heart portal to be one of the most important reflective areas of our entire dynamic. So now there's some sort of gurgle of old energy coming out of the heart region. He's showing me other scenes, sort of you just releasing out old energy, and I don't know how to describe it. I see a picture of you're in a bathroom. There's sort of like a horn coming out of the chest region, and you're throwing up in the toilet. You look sickly. Something feels like it's jammed in the heart portal, and it doesn't feel good. Lucifer is helping to pull it out. It literally is like a horn that just somebody just kept bashing it into your chest, and now you have this sort of object, and it's sort of rounded, and it's not natural. It's jammed in there, and it's not okay. And I don't have, my spirit guides are saying, do you know how that happened? Do you know how that got in there? It's like, it's an artificial tool. It isn't a natural heart portal. It's like an artificial heart portal. And for some reason, an artificial heart portal was jammed in there, and that needs to get pulled out. There, it comes out. It has a density about it. It really feels like a metal thing was just jammed into your heart, and it's rounded, and that just pulled straight out, and we are only using energy in order to create the right balance here. And Lucifer is creating energy specifically in that heart portal region that's pure energy. It's not made out of anything artificial. It's not artificial energy. It's real. I need to close my eyes and focus, okay? This is, I'm on the edge of something really, really loving, and it's worth me just being quiet and focusing on it for a little while, okay? You're actually standing up and you are embracing the healing. You're not laying on the ground. It's important that you know that. As you stand up, obviously it's ring of fire and then the sort of fiery energy in the heart. We're sort of out of this bathroom scene for the most part. It's still a part of the reality that I'm kind of working with. I just sort of see it off in the distance as I'm really focusing on this with you. And Lucifer is here as well. There are other images. What is like, there's this sort of a metallic hammer of some kind, and then a chisel, like we're chiseling into there. So again, there's a lot of pounding going on in this region. They're still showing me that something unnatural, it keeps creating a pain or something into that area specifically. So as we continue to share love, other reflections of non-love keep kind of showing their faces. So you are really happy and really embracing this energy. There's some golden light that is developing here. It's starting from the upper, just above the head region. There is something that just blasted out of the face, just energy. It's sort of like another energy version of your face that just came out. Everything's in golden light. Golden light, and now it's through the neck, and then that sort of core region, the shoulders to the hips, is just pushing out there too. Now hips down the legs to the toes and everything. It's just pulling out there. And arms, shoulder to fingers, coming out front and back. It's just coming out as on the sides. It's just sort of an energy reflection of you just coming out. It's just an old version of yourself. There's massive old energy coming out right sort of a line right here, and then it just kind of comes out right there. It's black. A lot more energy is really welcoming. I mean, it just feels ready to just say, we're gonna go down the water slide out the heart portal because we aren't supposed to be in there anymore, and we're so happy to leave. Yay! We're finally released from Carrie's heart portal. It's the strangest thing, but it's so much happiness. It's like there's been a lot of pressure buildup. It's just too much pressure. And so it's just coming right out and sliding right out. It's like, oh, thank the Lord, that feels good. Oh, it feels really great. Just over and over again. It's like so much pressure releasing. There's so much swirling energy around you, and energy in your heart, and it's coming out, and it's sort of like a candy cane kind of spirally, and it's a golden sort of foggy energy coming out like a spring or coil like that, and it's lots of rings of it coming out of your heart. But you're also, there's just sort of a spiraliness around the face, spiraliness all the way around head to toe, sort of spiraliness there too. Everything's sort of morphing into like a spirally in different places of your body. But that specifically right there is what I'm seeing. I'm telling you, oh my gosh, the way I'm feeling is so much relief. It's just that sensation of overwhelming energy from the get-go is it's receded so much, and I'm just feeling like if I am forced to lay in bed for 7 days, I could do it. Because that anxiety really makes it a lot harder. But I could just rest. I could just zone out for a while and just let go and just allow this healing to just really absorb and really just lift me up, because I just needed it. I'm talking to heaven, I'm talking to God, I'm talking to angels, talking to Lucifer, Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel. I've got them all here. There's just so much energy here, and we're really focusing on helping to release all of this sort of lesser energetic vibration. That way we can really pour in the loving energy, and that's really going to stimulate all kinds of sort of higher clarity. And that is the third eye openings, higher clarity and understanding of direction. But they really don't want to focus on the spiritual side of things. They just want to focus on you feeling good each and every day. You feeling like you're balanced and grounded, and just feeling like yourself. And that's really what the primary focus is. Let's get Carrie to where she just feels like the sun shines on her all day long, in her heart, in her mind, in her thoughts, in her feelings, in her goals, in her directions. We need to get the mushy-mashy love in there. That's not the only kind of love there is. There's other different versions of love, but it really needs to feel fuller, okay? Fuller makes us feel more passion and inspiration. When it gets darker, we just start getting twisted, and we just start thinking about, just feeling crabby, or thinking about the more negative things. And it's not, we need to be thinking about positive stuff all the time. Especially when we're ready to just really embrace higher versions of wisdom. It's important. So as I'm just all of this energy, so so it's sort of like a T, right? We've got an angel at each corner. So you got Michael, and then Raphael, and Lucifer, and Gabriel, each corner, and you're in the center, and there's this sort of swirling energy, and it's sort of like a portal of energy coming down from on top of you down into this sort of super sphere that's surrounding you, with an X sort of, or a T, or however you want to look at it, with each angel at each one of these points, right? And then you have all this super swirly energy going around it. And there's all kinds of angels here as well. And we're just focusing on pushing all kinds of heavenly energy into you. And then sort of, that's all I know right now. There's going to be a removal of negative, entering the positive. So this is what I'm seeing. This is where we are at right now. We are welcoming you to open your arms and open your body and look up. And really, stand up and really say, I'm ready to get the super pour, energy pour. I'm ready for it. And so you really are, this is amazing the way this feels. The congestion is so, it's so off in the distance, Carrie. I don't feel the overwhelmingness. I actually just feel the love and the beauty and the patience and the harmony. And it's so relaxing and freeing to me mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, everything. I am just allowing myself to receive love of the highest caliber, and it has nothing to do with anything else, just love. That's it. I open myself up to just this energy of love. Nothing else, just this. No other thoughts, no other goals, no other questions. Just this love. That's it. I say, if that's the only thing I gotta do today is open myself up to the super pour of love from God, from heaven, from angels, from Michael, from Raphael, from Lucifer, from Gabriel, if I can receive all of their love all day long, I allow it. I allow them to share their love with me, and that's all that there is. That's all there is. That is only thing is just this love, helping to free my thoughts from the need to be waiting for something, for me to feel like nothing is happening, or feeling too much anxiety, or the world's getting too congested, or whatever it might be. I just allow myself to open up and feel this over and over and over again. I do not resist it. I embrace it. I feel purified by it. I feel loved by it. I feel moved by it. I feel clarity by it. I feel grateful for it. I just allow it to continue to enter into my divine reflection, to heal me, to help me find freedom from all this weight. I share this pocket of shadow from the behind my heart. I give it now to the light so that I can be free of its burden. I ask that the light fill this space and fill it with all the love of all the heavenly realms. I allow myself to feel the love of all filling my heart, creating real love for me, not artificial love, love that does not hurt, love that is not pounding into me, but love that is flowing freely throughout me. It's very positive. It's very moving. It feels like real love. It feels like the truth. It's pure. It's honest. It's devoted. It's genuine. It's enlightening. It's extraordinary. They're showing me that you're growing. The more light that fills you, the more love that fills you, the more you open yourself up to this energy, you're growing. You are growing bigger and bigger, fuller, with more of you to share. You literally are like Alice in Wonderland just ate the Grow Me sort of cupcake, and now you're getting bigger. It's like you're as big as a house now. That's what this is like. You're just growing bigger and bigger and fuller, and just more love that is of energy is shared with you. You're just growing. And you're just smiling. You feel like this makes sense. You feel like you get it. You feel just balanced with it. You feel like you're okay accepting true love all around you. So just there's another version of you that's on the inside that just came out. She sort of looks like I don't know what her name is. It's like, I think her name is Ma, and she's from the Goonies. Like, she's got, the weird son that name, I don't know what his name is, but he sort of lives in the cellar or whatever, and she's just like that. There's some version of you that just came out that looks just like that woman. You look just like her. I'm telling you, her leaving was the best thing I have felt this whole time. This whole thing has been really, really great, but when that happened, it was like the troll just came out. I mean, it just like the grimace and the humbugginess and I don't know, the devotion to just being a crabapple. It just came out. It just said, I'm out of this joint. It's getting too lovey-dovey in here. It's like, yeah, we don't need the crabapple. We don't need that. I'm telling you, the feeling, the empowerment, the love, the sparkly heavenly energy, that is just beaming into this. The shadowy area is not the shadow anymore. It's just like boing, so many sparkly lights. It's like the super sprinkle of heavenly dust all over in there, and just super love and so much happiness and so much support for you, and so much and just love touching you, holding you, caring about you, sharing it, super, 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 making you grow, making you feel amazing. This is exactly what you've needed. This too just opens you up to so much higher clarity and higher wisdom, because it's raising your vibration. It's helping you understand yourself in a way that is positive and seeing through a positive lens, And that's what gets you higher and higher and higher, new levels of spiritual clarity, but life clarity too. And it's beautiful. I mean, is this serious? Is this silly? It's like, this is pure. This is genuine. This is sacred. This is revered. It's not serious or silly. It is pure, it's sacred. This is what this means. This is what this means. And it's beautiful. You just seem so much happier right now. There's another energy. It sort of looks like a strange creamy balloon that's just sort of coming out of this, just below the heart portal region. It's just like a big massive balloon that just kind of drifted off like that. There's some more sort of, I don't know, it looks just stringy black material, and it's just sort of scooping it out and then just getting it out of there. It's sort of in the digestive region. You know, that too is it's amazing how many emotions we can carry in our digestive region. And just, you know, the butterflies in the stomach, what is that? You know, it's just carrying an emotion in that sort of digestive region. But this is more the intestinal area, just scooping out just old cluttered energy out of there. And it's emotional energy. It's more, it has a relationship with some feelings that you've been having. So we're just pulling all of that out. It also has an association with the sort of lower back region. And it's even kind of scooping down even into the lower sort of the female womb region too. And that's even energetically in the front and in the back is just sort of an energy in there that's also trying to release itself. I mean, you're going to feel like you just got the super spiritual cleanse. This too is coming out like a really, it's kind of, it's rounded sides and it's kind of rectangular, rounded sort of sides. And then it sort of looks like a balloon in that way. And it just sort of comes out like that. There's still more energy coming out of the lower digestive sort of intestinal region, and then like the womb or reproductive region is really more of the sort of old negative energy that gets stored in these areas is just sort of coming out in different ways. This one sort of looks like a flood of energy just pouring out, and don't know how to describe it. It's kind of bubbly. It just likes like energy that's just kind of like liquid and with a lot of bubbliness to it. And it's got kind of a maroonish color to it. And some dark shadowiness to it too. There's more sort of energy coming out of the chest region. Sort of orangish orb looking energies. There's a lot of old energy coming out of you. I'm really shocked by it. There's two sort of sharper objects coming out. They look like samurai swords kind of, but they're pure white and they're kind of a rod sort of thing. So you know, like a samurai has like a sheath, a rounded sheath. They kind of look like you just pulled out, you know, two samurai swords or something crazy, but they're white and they're pure white, and then they have a solid structure to them, and they look like a sword in a sheath. Kind of like that. And there's a huge orb of energy coming out the middle of the back now. There's more, I'm like, I can't believe how much I'm seeing here. There's like strings, spaghetti strings of energy coming out like this. They're just coming out. They look like really, really long black spaghetti strings. And there's like pouches of them. Like, I don't know, 10 or so on each side, or 15 or so. And they're just kind of pulling out like that. Like streamers or something, but they're black. So somebody just grabs your legs from behind, and now you're doing the wheelbarrow. Like the human wheelbarrow. That's hard to do that. Like as a kid, it's like maybe, but I don't know. It might, like you're older now, it might be harder to do the wheelbarrow. There's something about, I mean, it's kind of an awkward thing, right? It's not a playful wheelbarrow thing. It's like somebody's got you by the legs and they're pulling you up and now you're forced to walk on your hands. And you almost look like a lawnmower, you know, in that way. It's like your face and your hands and everything are so close to the ground. It's like if you had like a circular thing attached to you, you would be a lawnmower, you know? Trimming the grass. I mean, there really is a sensation about this. Like you are chewing on the grasses and making them get shorter, or like trying to keep the lawn clean. But everything is really vibrant green. The grass is really vibrantly green. And it just seems so natural. That's the part that's strange to me. There's nothing natural about this. Let's put Carrie back on her feet again and let's see what happens now. It feels really odd for you to feel like you're on your feet again. It feels like what makes sense is you being on your hands and in just an awkward way. And it's almost upside down, you know, because you're almost upside down. But then when you just get back a hold of your own ankles and your feet and you just stand up and you say, I'm standing on my own 2 feet now. I am not being drugged or I'm not being pushed around so I can walk on my hands. I am going to be standing on my own 2 feet now. It almost gets like a whoa. I'm standing on my 2 feet now. Like I'm starting to feel the gravity of things is like in the right direction now. And that's a big deal. I mean, you need to feel that. I needed to do that for you. Yeah, there's some part of you. I'm just going to say this last thing. The person that was sort of holding your feet up, now that you're standing on your own 2 feet, you have quite... I mean, you're mad. You're really mad about something. And then you even have kind of a bucket of nails and you're just, you know, like a girl just throws the wine in the guy's face, like, screw you, dude. You've got a bucket of nails throwing it in his face. Like, whoa. And you're like, you know, screw you, dude. And nails to the face. But I mean, that it's pretty intense. I mean, you just feel really like wronged and you're just mad about this. I mean, it just wasn't right. And you're stormy. You're got a cloudy energy. I mean, not clouds. It's furnace fiery. It's more furnace fiery. That right there, helping you get the anger out right there, that part of you really needed to do that. It really just needed to get that out. And now we're back here in the super sphere with all the angels and the archangels and heaven and God and all of that. And the super energy that's making you grow. You just blasted out all kinds of dark puffs of energy, front, sides, and back. Just like the tea. It just came out in a big black sort of orb puff here, sides, and then back. And so that was super huge. Now you have even more room for heavenly love and energy. You got to get that stuff out, otherwise it turns into a pocket behind the heart and now you can't get off the floor. It's like life can do that, you know. It's like the littlest thing, you know, you build up and then it just feels like it's weighing you down, you know. You needed that. I mean, you look great. The way I feel like, oh my gosh, I got myself back. I have no anxiety, no shakiness. I'm not going to go talk in front of 1,000 people and it's 10 minutes to go and I'm going to pee my pants. You know, I'm totally good right now. I feel like myself. I feel super. I feel awesome. I feel like hugging everybody. And so I'm letting you do that. You're in the super way and I'm having you hug everybody, okay? So you're giving Michael a super big hug and you're giving Raphael a super big hug. And you're giving Gabriel a super big hug, and Lucifer, you're giving a super big hug, and you're saying thank you so much for being my friend and helping me in my life. And you're saying that to God, and you're saying it to heaven, and you're saying it to all the angels that came to share loving energy with you. And you're crying, and you're just saying, I'm so thankful. I just need to have this pure energy inside of my body all the time. I really need to have this. I really want to feel this all the time. I welcome you in my life to share this love with me all the time. I'm letting go of the thoughts in my mind that just I think too much about, and they're not heavenly, they're not pure, they're not helping me release from the stress and anxiety of life. They're just filling me up with more reasons to get overwhelmed, you know? This is really beautiful, Carrie. So they're having me kind of move back now so I can disconnect and just wish you the best, okay? So I'm just disconnecting here, and then so that feels a lot better. I'm starting to feel like I'm in my own world again. All right. So thank you very much for that, Carrie. That's a very extraordinary experience. I definitely kind of a roller coaster ride. So I'm wishing you all the best, okay? And for those of you watching, if you're interested in spiritual healing or psychic wisdom with me, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.